doctor in India, and then everybody was coming here. Okay, we have to go to USA, so everybody goes. Out of my classes of 120, 80 people came here. Everybody was all over, different states. And many friends of mine, we came here. But we had no place where to go, so we were just kind of deciding where to go. And applied and didn't get accepted. So finally, a friend of mine who was working here, she went and talked to the hospital and said, oh, I had 2 guys, do you need them? Oh, we need them, we are looking for 2 guys. So me and my friend ended up here. So that was almost, 1991. So, and then we went all over looking, where else can we go? Residency, training. I wanted to be a surgeon. And my friend became an internal medicine. But we were still together in Chicago. And I had to go to different hospitals, training. And then one of the rotations I ended up in University of Chicago. And that's where she was working. And I didn't pay much attention.
Yes, how the whole trouble story.
Yeah.
Because being a rotation, you don't have time, and being a surgeon, you have no time. You just go do your work, they tell you do this, and you are supposed to do busy schedule being a surgeon. In the afternoon, in the morning, and then around new patients. You just go and you get tired and
Time to sleep.
so you are falling asleep. And then she got pitied on me. Boy, working too much. and she said, she will bring the food. I said, I don't eat sleeping on food. But then she said, oh, why don't we go all together? I said, I eat mostly Indian food. And she said, she doesn't eat Indian food, she's spicy food. So I took her out to an Indian restaurant and she said, oh boy. And she ended up going out and vomiting in the bathroom. Now she eats all Indian food spicy, more than me sometimes. I cannot eat because my stomach bothers me more.
Oh, that's nice.
Since my kidney transplant I have had a year ago, now I cannot tolerate too much anymore.
Oh, wow.
Spicy, and I get loose food, diarrhea, those kind of problems. So, and my son was the one who did donation of kidney to me.
Oh, wow.
He's the one right now in Philippines.
Okay.
And then in Australia, mainly in Australia, he wants to be in Australia. So he has a semi-green card, but he's applying for the residency. But he has to be there continuous for 1 year to get the residency. But he has been out, traveling all over. He has traveled how many countries?
I don't know, maybe
He has
100.
traveled the most countries
Yeah.
in the house.
Yeah.
At least over 70, 80 countries he has traveled.
That's crazy. Yeah.
And then my other daughter, Nina, has also the same.
Yeah.
And she is, I think, another one.
I'm at
They are all
50.
travel and we hardly see them at home. This is the first time she has stayed in Chicago.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome.
Well, how about your trip from India to the United States for the first time?
Yeah, you missed out the most interesting. How did you come to Chicago for the first time?
We had to take a plane. Plane, and we applied, we bought the ticket. Then twice it got cancelled. So once it got cancelled, so then we had to reschedule it again. So we scheduled it, and then our plane started Bombay, and it was supposed to Bombay to Chicago. Instead of that, British Airways took us to Bombay to London. And then we left it there in London. He said, oh, we have no connection flying. So we ended up using a plane. They sent us from London to Paris. We don't know who the heck in Paris is. They put us in a hotel in Paris in the airplane. You know, they have a hotel in the airport itself. They was there and we didn't know what the heck to do and we don't speak any English and we asking for water and they don't give us the water. They talk about tepid water. They call it what do you call it?
Tap
Spring
water?
water or
Yeah,
something they call it.
Tap water.
We asking for regular water. No, they don't have regular water. So we stayed overnight in there and then we didn't know what to do. Another day, whole day, we had no money in our pocket. Indian government gave us only $8 US. That's it. That was our
wow.
allowance to get to the USA.
Wow.
And then you arrived in Chicago, and you used the money for a taxi, or
And from Paris, they took us to the Toronto.
oh
Because
man,
that's what the flight was available, so they want us to Toronto. Then from Toronto was snowing like hell. So we had to go out of the thing and then go outside in the hotel.
he's
And you
never
had summer clothes, right?
Yeah.
he's never seen snow in his
Never saw the
life.
snow. And,
Wow.
and then from next day, then they took us from Toronto to Chicago.
Okay.
And then we came from Chicago. I said, where the heck do we go? We don't know anything.
Yeah.
And then we were afraid. Oh boy, these people might take us somewhere else. Who knows?
Yeah.
We are afraid about black people.
Yeah.
First time we call and say, where to go? So, and then never knew that this is this far all the way hospital. Took us almost hour from airport to the hospital. Why where is this guy talking us? Is he taking us the right place or what? We don't know anything. We were afraid about it. And finally, guy brought us to the hospital. And the guy, we went there, and the doctor was ready leaving. It was like a Friday, Saturday, and leave early.
They
So
weren't
nobody
there?
knew who the heck you are. Where the heck did you come from? So luckily, one of the guy was Indian. And he said, okay, you can go upstairs to the resident room. Put us in the resident room. There are 5 bunk beds.
Oh my gosh.
So we had to end up in the bunk beds. One night we stayed there. The next day the guy said, this doesn't belong because everybody has to come and go, they sleep there. He said, come with me. And we stayed with him 3 months. Then we found our place. So it's a surprise how the place is.
Wow, that's a lot.
And they keep us around by hat, monkey hat, they call it
Like
monkey hat. Gloves, and then the jacket. And that was in January or February, January 23, I think.
Imagine coming from India
Right,
and then
you
like
just get right into it.
yeah, right into it. Don't know, what is this? 1970,
1971, I think.
1971. You don't know anything about anything. Coming from exactly the opposite side of the
We
world.
thought we had a friend who will help us, but everything got screwed up because all the flight canceled, they delayed, go to Canada. So those guys are waiting at the airport. They don't know where we are. It was an experience of how to get here.
Yeah, and then you only had $8 in your
$8,
pocket.
right?
That's
Out of
crazy.
$8, I think I spent $8 for the cab from the airport to the hospital, and that's all we had. So when we got into the hospital, I asked the doctor, can we borrow some money from you?
Oh.
So they gave us the $50,
Okay.
$150 and $1 to the other my friend. So we just $50 each.
And where did you
They
get?
took it out. They took it out then out of our salary anyway. But at least they gave us 50.
Yeah, yeah.
That's good.
Where did you get the winter jacket from? Because it was winter when you came.
Nothing that we had to go and buy some.
Uh-huh. Wow.
At that time, the Sears store was still working.
Oh yeah.
Now,
So you went to Sears?
yeah, he took us out to a Sears store. He
Oh,
said,
okay.
Buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this.
Wow.
Now he said, now I don't care whatever it is you buy.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Whoa, what an
Because we were
experience.
walking from his apartment to the hospital, which are
Yeah.
4 blocks.
Uh-huh.
But he said you have to walk, otherwise your feet will be gone
Yeah.
by the time you get to the hospital.
Yeah.
A couple times a day. And you are walking in the snow. Everything's snow in the
Wow, that's
sidewalk.
crazy. Coming from India to snow.